Greetings, everyone, fellow model railroad enthusiasts. Thanks so much for joining this channel once again and coming back to the layout, the Union Pacific Railroad Evanston subdivision in HO Scale. My name is Darrell Cruz, owner and builder of the layout, and your host for episode 16 of season 2024. Have a lot to share with you today, but first we want to make sure that you have subscribed to the channel, and if you would like this video, that would be awesome. And also want to thank all our members. We have two new members from last week, Tom Maxwell and A. Palt 32. Thank you, both of you, for joining. Tom Maxwell actually has operated on the layout numerous times. So glad to have him as a member, as well as all of our members. I have 32 so far altogether, so thank you very much. And encourage everyone to join and support the channel. All right, so we have a little bit to add. Now, here's the crowd that came to watch the golden spike, and I was kind of checking to see if the spike was still golden, and I don't think it is. I think it got rubbed off. Very disappointed about that. We have to figure out a way to put some gold paint. I was kind of looking for it here to see if I could find the gold spike. I actually painted it gold. We have to repaint the top of that. But one of the things I did actually start on this little extra bit of scenery for the upper level. As you know, I pretty much have finished the Morgan and Aspen areas. Morgan on the bottom level and Aspen tunnels and Aspen control point on the upper level. And so I'm trying to move on, and I actually got the track painted here on a 35-foot section. This is the track between the Aspen control point and just before going into Granger. You can see there's three tracks here, as you can see. The two mainline tracks of the Evanston sub and the Pocatello sub that comes into the Union Pacific, into the Evanston sub at Granger. So I did get some of that done, but I actually got kind of sidetracked back into working on this crossing, and then also a little bit more on the streets in Morgan. Now, one of the things I did before I put the signals in here is I went ahead and soldered all the wires, because once I got this in place, was not going to want to take it out again or try to solder these wires under the layout. What I use a lot of times for this type of wiring is Ethernet cable. So I just get some cheap Ethernet cable from Amazon and then splice it up and take the wires out. Each cable has 8 wires, so that's quite a few wires for not very much money. Now you can see I drilled the hole for this first one and didn't go in the first time, so I had to pull it back out and then drill a little bit tighter for the second one. Here's the other one. They said a 7/16 inch hole. I only had a 3/8 inch drill, so I was off by a 1/16 of an inch. So kind of wiggled it around here. You can see it poking through, and as you can see, there's no way for me. I mean, I could see it, but to actually put both my hands and look at it at the same time, it was really in an awkward spot. So I pretty much had to do it by feel. Now here's the wires coming back. Here you can see where one is. So there's a staging yard right underneath it. So I could touch it with my two hands. Here's the other one. But I couldn't, watch. So basically once I inserted the crossing into the hole, then I basically attached the motor and the mechanism by feel. And then I got the cam and everything in place by feel. So that was pretty interesting, but it worked out. Was able to get it on here. I may have to do something with that seam yet. I think I'm going to put a street over it. But these are Tomar signals, and I found out that they're, well, actually I knew it to begin with. These were uh, first, this particular models came out in 2009. Somebody told me they were more than 20 years old, but the instructions that I got with them are dated 2009. So once I got the crossings in and the mechanisms attached, then I went ahead and started to put some striping on it. And I settled with some chart pack vinyl tape. This is 1/16 of an inch tape. You can see the Tomar signals. And 1/16 of an inch comes out to about between right around 5 inches. And I looked it up, and they said road striping is between 4 and 6 inches. So if this is the right width, and I just kind of pulled it all the way across, and then kind of pressed it down, and then cut it where it was supposed to go. And I kind of put the striping up. Notice I painted on the backdrop, the road going into the backdrop, and then I went ahead and put the striping in there too. I'm not sure how it looks. You have to let me know what you think. Once I got it all striped and everything, I did spray it all with some Dole Coat, some Dole Clear spray, just to kind of make it all uniform and to kind of seal the tape so it doesn't come up. Now, I noticed it was coming up a little bit there on the ballast, but I may have to push that down. I don't think it was down when I sprayed it. Now the signals too, I might say I'm going to put some ballast on top of there so you don't see that round metal disc. So that'll look a lot better. Now I also put trees. See, so you can see that this road kind of goes and just stops. So I'm putting some trees here to camouflage that and make it look like it just goes, around the curve and into the backdrop. These are Super Trees by Scenic Express. I'm going to do the same type of thing over here. Again, the road just kind of ends here. So I'm going to put some trees here to kind of hide that. And then we'll also have to do the roads here. I'm going to probably wait till I come back for the detail scenery. But I just kind of wanted to get this a little bit further along so you can kind of see how it's going to look. I did get the stripes down here also. I tried some paint pins, didn't work. And I tried some decals, some Katie decals. They didn't work. I think they were too old. I think somebody had them sitting on their shelves. I got them off of eBay. But they just kind of fell apart once I got them off the decal sheet. So I was like, I'm not going to use that. The striping tape works really well. The one drawback is that it's a little thick. And I tried the paint pins and the decals because I wanted to have more of a painted on look. But I think it's going to be fine. You really can't see the thickness. It definitely was a lot bigger of a deal in N scale. I used the tape in N scale. But also this week I worked some on my control panel. This is a Railroad and Company control panel that we've been using on the Evanston sub. And you can see I basically set the route by clicking on the signal. So if I want to go a certain way, I'll click on one or the other signals. And once I click the signal, then it sets the route. Okay, that's not how it's done on the prototype. And then also, this is not really how the prototype control panel looks either. So this actually, I've been really happy with it, but it's not quite prototypical in how it operates and how it looks. Now this is a picture of the actual Union Pacific dispatching system. As you can see, it's pretty plain. Very, very plain. Not a whole lot of colors, and just basically it's just what's needed. And they also, on the prototype, they set the turnouts, and then once they have the turnouts set, then they click the signal and the signal goes to whatever aspect it's supposed to be. So we've been doing it backwards on ours. So I've been using a program called CATS, C-A-T-S. It uses JMRI, and as you can see, it definitely looks a lot more like the prototype one. And then also you set the turnouts, and then you click on the signal, and then it sets the aspect. So this is definitely much more prototypical looking, and also much more not only prototypical looking, but also much more prototypical in operations. One big thing also is that with this system, you can have the flashing yellow as well as flashing red. With the Railroad and Company, you can only do flashing yellow, not flashing red. So here I'm turning on the arrows, by the way, and you'll see when you do it now, you get arrows on the little tiny arrows on the green and so on. So this is kind of what I'm going to switch over to. It's kind of a learning curve to figure out how to do the CATS one, because it has its own system of logic and everything. So I've been kind of doing some self-learning, and then also John Goodhart, who lives in the area, came over, and I've been talking to him on the phone. I've been emailing back and forth, and he was nice enough to stop by on Saturday, and we spent some time going over things. He's very, very helpful, so I appreciate that, John. And still I'm working on it, maybe a while before I get done, but that was definitely, spent a lot of time on that, in addition to this crossing and the roads in Morgan, and then just a little bit of work I did on the section between Aspen and Granger. So this coming week, I'm hoping to get scenery, actually paint the area around the track between Aspen and Granger, put some ground foam and so forth on, and maybe even get some ballast. But if I can just get the scenery on there and maybe get some backdrops up this next week, and then the following week put some actual ballast down, that will actually take care of that area, and then I can start working on the Taggart Tunnels and Devil's Slide. So I'm super excited about that. But here you get a good look at the signals here at just east of Evanston. One thing I also am going to work on, I'm not sure if I'll get to it this week, probably not, but at some point in time I want to get these operating. So I've been a little bit in communication with Logic Rail, and he's got some grade crossing Pro /2 that I might try out and see if I can't get these actually operating. So definitely looking forward to that. That definitely will add some excitement. Going to have 3 of them in total on the railroad. The one that I'm working on now, one at Echo, and then another one at Granger. And here we get to see also some trains going across the... This is really a nice scene with the mountains in the background. The road going under the underpass. And then the trains going over the overpass. I may do a little bit of weathering on the road yet still, but that's pretty much all I'm going to do here at Morgan. I just got to move on. Maybe put some more trees on, we'll see. The trees by Scenic Express are pretty easy to do, so I might throw some of them on the other side on the road. But for the most part, I'm going to kind of leave this area now and start to focus on the section of railroad between Aspen and Granger on the upper level, and between here, Morgan, and Devil's Slide on the lower level. So definitely something to look forward to. Sorry I didn't get this out yesterday. Family plans and activities seem to happen on Sundays a lot, which is okay, but definitely was happy to get it out today, and hopefully we'll have more to show you next week. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Thank you. Please like this video, subscribe, become a member. Appreciate all your support. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.